Hey, welcome to World Entertainment. And is Captain James Tiberius Kirk returning to Star Trek again? Because we know we had that unification mini video done that was the perfect and most beautiful send-off for Kirk and Spock. And of course, Bill Shatner was actually involved with that. He even helped produce the thing. But according to William Shatner himself, he's actually in talks with Paramount to return as Kirk. The only thing is, we don't know for what or in what capacity. Like, is he actually being spoken to come back to actually play Kirk? Is he going to voice, like, Kirk in a game? We don't know. But we'll have a look at this article that really breaks down everything that has happened with this, or what's happening with it. So, let's have a look. So William Shatner may be preparing to boldly return where no man has returned before. Well, maybe a few. The 94-year-old legend revealed that he's being approached to resurrect Captain Kirk, proving that not even death or a pile of rocks can keep a Starfleet captain down. Shatner confirmed to his 2.4 million followers he is in talks with Paramount to return to Star Trek, writing, "Well, I don't know if you heard, I've been approached to resurrect Kirk. It's all still up in the air, or is it buried under some rocks? Whichever the case, I'm waiting to hear what the folks at Paramount have to say." So that's what he tweeted out. Back in May of last year, Shatner said he was open to the idea of a return, where Shatner told the Canadian press at the time, "It's an intriguing idea. It's almost impossible, but if it was a great role and so well written, and if there were a reason to be there, not just to make a cameo appearance, but if there were a genuine reason for the character appearing, I might consider it." I tell you one thing before we go on with this, if he's looking for it to be so well written, he ain't getting that from Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek, that's for sure. So this continues anyway, saying, William Shatner made his final appearance over 30 years ago in Star Trek Generations, where Captain James T. Kirk dies. He's presumed dead early in the movie when he's caught in an energy ribbon called the Nexus, but it turns out he was actually trapped inside. Decades later, Captain Picard finds him in the Nexus and convinces him to leave. The two then battle Dr. Soren, and Kirk ultimately dies after falling from a collapsing bridge while saving millions of lives. His final words? "Oh my." Star Trek has brought characters back from the dead before, so a Kirk resurrection wouldn't be out of the question. Shatner has even written novels where Kirk is revived using Borg technology. Of course, time travel could be another way to, or even the multiverse. Fuck off with your multiverses. Shatner suggested to the Canadian press that he could play a younger version of Kirk, as he is working with a company specializing in de-aging technology that, as he says, takes years off your face, so that in a film you can look 10, 20, 30, or even 50 years younger than you are. He also joked Kirk could have been frozen, saying, "We've got Captain Kirk's brain frozen here. Here's a scenario. Let's see if we can bring back a little bit of this, a little salt, a little pepper in his hair. Oh look at that. Here comes Captain Kirk." Word to mention is that SkyDance Media is supposed to be purchasing Paramount, which is expected to go through this spring. SkyDance Media is owned by David Ellison, where we've been told he's a big TV and film buff. So a Star Trek reboot could be in the works in some form. Paramount recently cancelled Star Trek Discovery and ended Star Trek Lower Decks. The spin-off movie, Section 31, was also recently released, but was slammed by both critics and fans alike. Strange New Worlds Season 3 will be releasing this year, and the series has been renewed for Season 4. It hasn't been renewed, by the way. It was already commissioned. So that's why we're up to Season 4, that crap. Now, as you can see there, there's a few things to take away from it. One is William Shatner himself isn't even actually sure what the idea is to bring him back. As he says there, he's just waiting to hear from Paramount that he's waiting to see what exactly this is and what they want. So it's not 100% confirmed, but they have, according to William Shatner, approached him to play Kirk in some form. We don't know in what form, but in some form. The thing about SkyDance is we are hearing a lot of rumblings recently that SkyDance are very much looking to get rid of Kurtzman and all of his Star Trek. And that could be massive. We've also, of course, heard that they were possibly looking at the idea of selling Star Trek. But at this stage, I think they'd be more inclined to keep it. Now, the thing with SkyDance is there's two sides to this. One is it would be great if they did come in and remove Kurtzman and get rid of all that and go back to real and proper Star Trek and bring in people who know what the hell they're doing and actually like and respect the series. But the other issue you have with them, and yes, it is a big issue, is they funded the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. They are the ones that were side by side with Paramount making them 3 movies. So it's kind of like you're kind of a double-edged sword. It's like one side is saying let's get rid of it and start afresh, and the other side is let's continue and we helped make this mess. It's a strange one. But in terms of what exactly would Bill Shatner be doing coming back as Kirk, as 94 years of age, not like he's a spring chicken, trust me. Go see this guy live. He still jumps around the stage like he's in his 20s or 30s. It's insane. You know, here we all are in our 30s, 40s and 50s and like we have backaches getting out of a chair, and here's this guy still acting, still doing plays, still traveling the world. He went to space, for Christ's sake. So yeah, he's still absolutely full of life, but he's not exactly in Kirk shape. You know what I mean? So again, I'm truly wondering what this, for all we know, could even be some sort of audio book. Maybe they're looking to do a deal to, hey, we're going to have this new book about Kirk, and it'd be great if you did the voice for the audio version of it. It could be something as simple as that. But either way, Paramount have reached out and offered the role of some sort of James T. Kirk back to Bill Shatner, and he's just waiting to hear back from them to see what's going on. So we will absolutely be keeping our ears open to hear any more from this and find out what exactly the hell is going on. But either way, it looks like Bill Shatner could be back in some form as James T. Kirk for at least one more outing. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Live long and prosper.